All right, welcome back to Lantern Sports Play Breakdowns with myself, Kevin Lapka, alongside Casey Smith. Right now, we're looking at receivers and a little bit of CJ Stroud in there and looking at what the receivers did against Indiana last Saturday. Let's take a look at the first play here featuring Garrett Wilson. This is an interesting route. So you see Wilson on the outside, and it looks like he's going to, look, he stalls right there, and it looks like he's going to run a wheel, right? So he gets up here, looks like he's going to run a wheel. But this is what's interesting about this play and why we highlight it. This is kind of a blurry image, I know, but you see he doesn't have the separation he wants on the wheel, right? On a wheel, you typically want to be further out, and if he has a little bit more separation, CJ Stroud might say, look, let's put this ball up here. The safety might not get there. That's a touchdown. But this is good coverage by the defender. He's at his hip. So what does CJ Stroud do and recognize? He says, boom, we're going to go back shoulder. So I know that the coverage is too good, right? I can't throw Garrett Wilson open here. I'm going to throw him to the back shoulder and into a position where the defender cannot make a play on the ball. That's really good. That's just really good recognition by CJ Stroud to not force an error, not force the continuation of that wheel route, and sort of turn it into a comeback route, because that's not what at least I don't believe that's what the play design was, to be a comeback at the back shoulder.
No, and see, Kevin, if he leaves that ball inside, that defender for IU, they have a great play on the ball. It's pretty much a shoe-in interception and move the ball back. That ends the consecutive streak of what ended up being 19 consecutive touchdowns. That was a great throw by Stroud. Great adjustment by Wilson to be able to high point that ball too. Yeah, absolutely. So that's a completion there. Now we're going to take a look here. This is sort of a different play where, as this one finishes out, gets rushed to the ground here. So here you're in the red zone, right? And when you have an offense as prolific as Ohio State's, sometimes you don't have to do too much. You don't have to craft up the craziest play designs and the craziest routes and pull out trick plays out of the bag. You just say, look, we have one of the best receivers in the country right here, one-on-one, man-to-man, first down. I don't know what situation this was, but one of the early downs, you say, I'm just going to take a chance and prove that my guy's better than his guy. And if you have confidence in your guy, that's what you're going to do. This is a great route by Olave. He, boom, gets him outside, defender, like, you're cooked right there. Olave's going to beat you inside on this short little go route, and boom. But I got to be honest, though. I think is that the same defender as the Wilson play? It was, Kevin. Same side of the field.
Right.
When you see Olave give that quick jab step to the outside and the defender bites on it, the play was dead at that point. CJ Stroud, that's his number one receiver right there, and Chris Olave. He's reading what he does with that defender at the line of scrimmage. He made him look silly, and he delivers a strike to him for another touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, this isn't terrible coverage, though. Like, again, you were only working with 15 yards, so he got beat in a matter of what looked like 15 yards. But still, he's still tied to the hip right there. He's still in a position to where he can make a play on the ball, right? I mean, this is a position where I think he kind of falls down. Yeah, he kind of falls down, but again, like, I don't care if he's tied to the hip or if he's 5 yards behind. You can take your chances when you have receivers as good as Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, because you have trust in them winning on a jump ball like that.
And to that point, Kevin, that wasn't the best throw from CJ Stroud. Had that defender stayed upright, he could have picked that off too.
Yeah.
So Chris Olave's in-air adjustment, and if you saw him looking back, he had his eyes on the play the entire time. The defender, he was too busy trying to compensate for already getting lost.
Right.
So it was already too late by that point. And Chris Olave's in-air adjustment, like I said, to be able to high point that ball and come down with it, that was a great adjustment by him. And that's sort of a testament to the receivers in general in that wide receiver room.
And that's why it's such a luxury to have both of those guys on the same offense, two potential first-round picks in next year's NFL draft. You look here, this is going to be another Garrett Wilson play. We'll keep this one kind of brief, but you see he goes in motion back into the slot. And then what's interesting about this when you look at pure route running is right here, you always, so look at that. But number 9, actually, he's turned around. He says, boom, he recovers. But this is where the play gets beat is he right here is imitating as if he's going to run a corner route to the sideline, right? He jabs, he's going to go to a corner route to the sideline, but this is sort of a trail route that turns into an out route, and boom, right here, watch. This is where the route is won. Right here, again, this is where he turns that angle from sort of that 45 degrees back to that 90 degrees, and boom, right here, open, it's lost. And this is a good throw, by CJ Stroud to hit him right in stride to the sideline.
Especially to the far side of the field. Making that throw is not easy. And when I was doing a breakdown earlier, I was talking about Jack Tuttle's ability, or should I say inability, to get the ball across the field. That's why a lot of their routes that were running to the far side, they just stop.
Yeah.
They essentially try and take the defender out of that play. But C.J. Stroud is arm strength right there. He's able to make that throw across the field to Garrett Wilson in stride for an easy pitch and catch, move the chains. That's all you're trying to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're looking for. Great route, great play.
And it was very similar sort of on this next play here. Simple, 4 wide, 2 to each side. Ohio State's not going to try and do too much. They're just going to try and keep moving the sticks. See Jaxon-Smith and Njigba. He goes about 7 yards, and I want to watch his left foot right here on that quick jab. He cuts almost like he's cutting in, but then he just puts his foot into the ground and cuts out. And this linebacker right here, he is unable to catch up. See, makes a miss. He's laying on the ground. Smith and Njigba has all this green in front of him to be able to pick up yards after the catch, and that's one of his big key.
Failed attempt at a hurdle, but
you're on the sideline, buddy. Stay grounded. Keep your feet moving. Maybe step out of bounds, prevent a hit. But still, this is one of my favorite throws of C.J. Stroud this entire season. See, Indiana, they're going with a base cover 2. What C.J. Stroud is going to do, he's going to read this corner right here. Jaxon-Smith and Njigba is his #1 receiver on this play. This safety, this high safety back here, he's going to drop. Micah McFadden here in the middle, he's going to drop and sort of help in coverage as well. Jaxon-Smith and Njigba off the line of scrimmage is going to beat this corner, this slot corner here. And just watch the ball placement of C.J. Stroud. See, he's already beat. His hips are turned. Jaxon-Smith and Njigba has the speed to get by him. You see Micah McFadden, he started right around here. He's already trailing to help out on defense. This safety is probably back here somewhere. But just watch the seed, the straight-up seed from C.J. Stroud. There's only one spot that he can make that throw, and he made it right over the paw of Micah McFadden in for a huge game. Move the sticks, move across the 50, and they're able to pick it up, go down, score another touchdown. It's incredible what this Ohio State offense is being able to do, Kevin.
And we're highlighting the receivers here. That might not even arguably be, the best aspect of the offense.
Exactly.
I mean, like the running game has been so good with TreVeyon Henderson, they can rely on that. But then you highlight the reliance that you can have on a Garrett Wilson, on a Chris Olave, and a Jaxon-Smith and Njigba. To have that many weapons and to pose that to a defense, it makes it incredibly difficult to have to factor for all of those things.
Right, and these throws from C.J. Stroud, he's getting a lot of the credit for it, but don't sleep on the receivers and their ability to get open. It's creating a lot easier throws like that Garrett Wilson out route. It's making the throws easier for C.J. Stroud, who's still a young quarterback. We can't deny that fact. It's making his job a lot easier.
I mean, you see that at every stage of football, guys getting open. Like you watch Patrick Mahomes' first few years in the NFL. Heck, Patrick Mahomes, great quarterback, but every guy he throws to has 10-yard separation. Makes life a heck of a lot easier. And that's what the Ohio State offense is doing. That's going to be it for this week's episode of Lantern Sports Play Breakdowns, highlighting the receivers here. We'll see you guys next week for more after Ohio State versus Penn State. Friday night we'll have Saturday night we'll have the coverage for that on our YouTube, on our socials and everything. So we'll see you guys for that. But until next time, take care.